All right, guys, we are here with Jared. Jared, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from California, and I moved here about a year ago.
About a year ago.
First of all, I'm sober 4.5 years, but I was formerly homeless on Skid Row in Los Angeles and was homeless in Oakland, California and San Francisco, on and off for about 8 years. And I moved here about a year ago, and listen, it seems to be the way that the addiction and homelessness crisis is being handled here, I think is being handled better than where I'm from, but I just don't want it to be handled in similar ways where we approach, the California levels in 10 years or whatever.
So you lived on Skid Row, right?
Yeah.
What was it like living on Skid Row out there?
Well, I lived on Skid Row in 2011, and in 2011 it was a lot different. You had to break down your tent every day, so about 5 a.m. the cops would drive around and you'd have to break down your tent, and then you'd have to carry your tent around all day, and it was pretty hard. It was not an easy life. And then I was homeless down there 2015 again for about a year, and at that point you didn't have to break down your tent, and also shoplifting was essentially legalized at that point. So I was a professional shoplifter and made a lot of money, and it was just a lot easier because you could have a stationary base basically on Skid Row. As long as one person was guarding the camp, you could kind of have permanent residency in a spot on Skid Row.
So you've lived here in Austin for how long now?
I've lived here for about a year.
About a year?
Yeah.
So you see kind of how the homeless situation is, the camps,
yeah,
the policies that are driving the homeless situation.
Yeah.
If you compared what's happening in Austin today to what you came from in California, do you see any comparison between the two? I guess what I'm getting at is the road that we're heading down.
Yeah.
Do you see it ending basically like it is in California at this point?
I mean, I could see it getting there with like ultra progressive policies. But I mean, California is so messed up right now. But it's definitely a possibility that it could head in that direction. I'm a sober drug addict. I'm a former homeless person. I'm very supportive of like abstinence-based treatment, and I don't believe that, I believe people deserve to be housed, but I think if you're a drug addict and you're homeless and you're committing crimes, you should have the option of, when you get like arrested, you should, be put into treatment, like state-sponsored treatment, where you long-term, abstinence-based, therapy-based, let's figure out the foundation of why you feel the need to use drugs.
Absolutely.
And job training and this long-term plan, whereas like just giving someone an apartment, I don't think really works, unless of course the minority that do qualify for that, where it's like you just fell on hard times, you're a mother of 3 kids, of course, that's a different situation. But I'm seeing a lot of homeless people in Austin, and a lot of kind of like, let's just ignore the problem and let them go into the woods and camp out. And I just don't think that's a humane approach.
Right.
And it's going to, now with fentanyl's, obviously a lot more powerful than heroin, and people are just going to die in the woods basically. And
it's happening.
I believe it. And it's not humane. It appears humane sort of on the surface, where it's like, let's just let them be and kind of do what they want and camp out. But
it's kind of like loving them to death.
It's kind of like loving them to death. And listen, I'm in recovery, and I just don't think anyone ever got coddled into, putting the needle down.
Right.
And that doesn't mean let's lock them in a cage for the rest of their lives. I'm not saying that, but it's, just letting them go about. And because I was one of these people that lived in a tent outside, complete menace to society. And the second round I had on Skid Row was more. It was more. There was really no rule of law at that point, and it was nasty.
Right.
It was nasty. And fortunately, I was arrested for something that I didn't really do. But I thought it was. I was fortunate to get a lengthy jail sentence that had me completely detoxed from heroin and crack cocaine. And when I got out, when my case got dropped, I was completely clean and had a shot at life, and ended up at a state rehab that allowed me to get a job and live there for free while I worked, and as long as I remained sober.
So you're doing good now, though.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
you so much.
All right, thank you.
Yep.